Okay, welcome everybody to the Referral Challenge Q&A Mastermind call for Friday, April 20th. Updates are as follows: the ongoing saga of local by referral. It's getting more and more exciting every day, despite the fact that you guys don't know that, and you think I'm probably full of shit at this point because you're not seeing anything really happen. And I understand that, but I just have to keep plugging away. So I was gonna show the local by referral site, but you can all see it on your own. But we've done quite a bit on the front end to change it up, and the back end, that's the most dramatic change. And it's now putting it into a new technology program on the back end so that we can track and measure everything that goes on in the back end when folks enlist in the Winner's Way training. And so we can figure out where there are issues, if there are any, in that training process, and just fix them on the fly. So it'll become much more efficient all around. But this local by referral is the future for us, and I believe the future of local relationship marketing. There'll always be advertising, but in terms of relationship marketing, I don't think there'll be anything to rival this. So I'm excited about it, and I know I just need to put it in all your hands so that you can see what I see, and we can get started, using it, leveraging it, getting benefit from it. So that's the only thing I wanted to share. And I know it's just you on here right now, Adrian, but I'm doing that more for the benefit of those who may listen afterwards. Aaron, anything you've got? I know you stepped away. If you're there, anything you want to update? Oh, and first of all, let me just say, amazing, the post that you put about your niece and her recovery from cancer. Incredible. God bless her, and I'm happy to hear. That's awesome news.
Yeah.
Can't hear you, Aaron.
Said it's just truly miraculous. They pretty much had her on a short string that she wasn't going to make it. I mean, it was all in her lymph nodes, and as you can see, all that stuff running down her arms, that's her lymph, right? You don't typically rebound from that kind of thing. And so here we are, just that 3 months later, and done, just pretty much done. It's
was there treatment other than prayer? I mean, what was happening there?
Oh, the medical community was fully engaged. I mean, we are blessed out the wazoo to be in Birmingham, Alabama when it comes to this kind of stuff. And few people know that Birmingham has one of the top hospitals, in the world. Everything from oncology to orthopedics. You have professional athletes coming into the Andrews group in here getting operated on from the NFL all the time. And then the oncology world is just top notch. And this is a result. And so they did some chemo on her, and she's still going to go through some, but she had a lump about half the size of your fist on her chest. It was raised, and there's nothing there, nothing. It's completely gone. And so, you're just like, oh my God, the miracles of modern medicine and God's work, right? It's just tremendous. Other than that,
so quickly. Yeah.
It's fast. I mean, just like, wow. So we're very thankful, obviously. And but the only other update I've got other than that is if Rick Strub doesn't show up on this call, dude, you're making so much freaking money now. We don't even matter. We are now relegated to worms.
Yeah, really. All right, good. Calvin's here too. Yeah. Okay. All right, Aaron, I just sent you a message. Great. All right, so Calvin's here, Adrian's here. Let's get going. Is there anything worth talking about on that front, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean,
it's up to you. I haven't heard the latest. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
Actually, I haven't heard the latest, but I'm in the process of what he's talking about is a newspaper piece that I had done with Jeff Tomazinski, and we're getting some very nice results, at least we haven't spoke since Monday. We've both been very, very busy, but I suspect that this whole week the phone's been ringing. And it was an 8-page insert into a newspaper, a community newspaper. And so the phone started ringing immediately. It hit on Friday, and he had a Friday event. By Monday, he had 4 people signed up, and we haven't spoke since. So I don't know how it's turned out, but it won't take much to put him really in the black on that. And so now today I'm finalizing the 20-page version to be sent out as its own standalone piece.
Oh, direct mail piece.
Yeah.
Magalog style.
Yeah, it'll be newspaper size. It'll be like this size here.
Yeah.
And,
that's awesome.
So I can show. I don't think Jeff would mind that I kind of share what it's looking like right now. So this would be basically the front page. So it'll go out looking like that, and so here's basically the headline. What if most, if not all of your health and fitness problems are caused by chubby muscles? What if you could undo years of damage in only 20 minutes 2 times a week? And we've got a graphic there, and we've got an MRI of a 40-year-old active person, a 70-year-old inactive person, and a 74-year-old active. These are all thigh muscle MRIs. And down at the bottom, if you have a health problem your doctor can't fix, please read this immediately, because improving the quality and tone of your muscle tissue may be the best doctor your body will ever have, right? So that's the cover. It's got some curiosity things that I'm still fleshing out. And then you'll just open it up, and this will be the spread on the inside. So here we're talking about, another graph, and could this be the hidden cause of your annoying health problems? And we introduced the letter, and we just flipped through it, and what your underutilized muscles are dying to tell you in the research that goes into it. Max Strength Fitness Super Slow Training introduced this. I'm still fleshing out. Here comes the testimony page. Here's some more supportive graphics that's coming in. I'll go ahead and blow this one up a little bit. Your muscles are desperately trying to tell you what the medical industry hasn't. And this is all based on deep, hard weeks of research. But here's the psychiatric, neurological, cardiovascular, pulmonary, metabolic, and musculoskeletal, and cancer issues. So I've created this graphic to illustrate the thigh muscle fatness between a thin and a fat and a thin thing, and then an ask your doctor checklist, right? And then we'll.
That's a great idea. The checklist, yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much where it's at in the moment. But
that's fantastic, and just a tribute to the quality of copy work that you do. And as you said in that that piece that post that you made, people refer to you as a copywriter, but you're really a researcher first, a writer second. And, that shows you that's what most copywriters won't ever do. They won't do the work beforehand. They won't do the research. And that's why they're just, average. And Aaron is A-level. That's the difference. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into it. Adrian, give us an update. Let us know how things are going with you and anything we can help you with.
Yeah, they're going pretty well. So things are just kind of cruising along. There is one specific thing that I'd like some help with. It's just having heart-to-heart conversations with staff members. It was brought to my attention recently that one of my coaches, his name's Austin. It's just some things going on that seem to be getting to him. I'm not honestly sure if it's work-related, me-related, or anything else. But actually, I'm just not sure what it is. But it's just so I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Hang on a second. There's somebody at my door.
Yep. Calvin,
Aaron, you're gonna be that program project newsletter that's gonna be something that's gonna be available later, or form or fashion for folks to purchase.
Well, that's a conversation I'd have to have with Jeff. The guy has spent a lot of money on me getting it done, so he officially owns it. And
well, when he officially wants to combine it with you to redistribute in some form or fashion, cool people that know you guys just holler.
It's a great question to ask, Calvin, and I mean I'm curious about it too. And I think here's what I would suggest to Aaron and Jeff if they were interested, and that is once this is done and you've got all the numbers, everything's tested, and you know how well this is performed, and it's going to be a winner. It already is, and I would look at licensing. You and Jeff ought to license that piece and and offer it to folks in that way. So that might be a worthwhile. That would be a worthwhile conversation to have with Jeff. When the time is right.
Right.
So I'm back. Sorry.
All right, no worries. Aaron, is that fair to say? I mean, is that something that maybe you don't have to commit? I'm not asking you to commit to anything. I'm just curious. That might be a worthwhile conversation. Do you agree?
It is a worthwhile conversation. I do know this. He doesn't want it into the hands of any of his competitors.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's why license, with a contract agreement, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think certain areas only certain people can compete area, all that kind of stuff would have to come in place. Of course, yeah, I wouldn't want anybody near me having anything like that anyway. That's a weapon right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, Adrian, Rick's here. That's great. Adrian, let's get back to you. So go ahead. Let us talk about Austin. You said his name is?
Yeah. There's just little things like, and I was told all this by one of my other coaches, so I'm trying to figure out a best way to talk about it with him tonight, without necessarily stopping him from just venting to other coaches. But it's just like little things like complaining about being tired in the morning, consistently complaining about it being negative, or just wondering on his progression, how I've outlined it, he still has issues with that, but he doesn't bring that up to me. He'll talk about it with another coach or something, but not to me. He has this weird, it's kind of an off-putting response to jokes. We'll joke, or other people will joke with him and he'll respond kind of out of character, where it's almost whoa, I didn't mean that, chill out, There was instances where he'll yell when it's not warranted. Somebody was telling him to grab a phone for a picture, and he was like, I got it, but in a really weird way, negative way. And other clients were looking around is he okay, kind of thing. It's just these little things that are happening that are kind of adding up that make me wonder, is he all right? Does he enjoy working here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. How old is he?
He's only 24, so he's young, But the interesting thing was what my other coach was telling me. Her name's Eve, by the way, and she's older, so she has wisdom on her. But her husband has this weird way of reading people, which I thought was kind of fun. And so randomly, when Austin and her husband met at one of our client events a while ago, his first impression of Austin was this guy's holding back something that he's not talking about with other people. And that made me wonder, So I just don't know how to have that conversation with him today, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how to start it. I just want to talk to him, hey, are you okay? But I don't want him wondering oh no, why is Adrian asking me this? Because apparently whenever I give him feedback, it's me yelling at him. That's also what he said before.
How long has he been with you?
Just a few months.
A few months. And has this behavior just started recently, or has it been pretty much from the beginning? The out of character response to jokes, that's kind of always been there. I don't know if he doesn't know how to just take a joke. But the other stuff seems kind of out of character for him. Does he strike you as insecure, lacking confidence?
I think so. Yeah. He always wants to know that he's doing a good job.
Yeah. Needs
that was a big deal for him, especially in the beginning. There was an issue with a client, and he was blown up about it because he didn't want to lose his job. He didn't want to piss anybody off. He wanted to know he was doing well. And I talked to him for 2 hours about it just to calm him down. So he puts a lot of, like, I thought I put a lot of pressure on myself. He's like worse than I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if there's any feedback, it's like really negative. Like even today I asked him, like, hey, can we just talk after the evening shift? You know, he's like, oh, am I in trouble? I'm like, no, you're not in trouble. You know?
Is he a good coach?
I think he has potential to be a great coach. He needs to like relax.
Yeah. Do you know anything about his background before you? Was he a good student? Did he excel at things? Is he an achiever?
Not that I really knew of. He like, it's not like he had like a college degree or anything like that, but he never had problems in school. You know, I think for him, it's just like a matter of finding what he wants to put himself into. Honestly, I think he just hasn't figured that out for himself.
Yeah.
You know, and I've talked to him a lot about like what he wants to do, like career wise. And he really wants to like on our chart, like one of our levels is being a facility leader, and he wants to be a facility leader, you know? So it's like, it's in his mind. It's not like he just wants to be a trainer and that's it, you know?
Yeah. All right. So based on that, I'm going to give you my armchair diagnosis, and then we'll go around and see everybody else can pitch in and give
That's
you.
kind of diagnosis.
I would diagnose this as immaturity and insecurity. And I think you just need to, in my opinion, set a goal for him. You said he wants to be a facility manager. I would say, hey, you want to, first I'd say, let's sit down and talk about how you can potentially become a facility manager. And then I'd sit him down and say, this is, you've mentioned that this is what you aspire to do. I would love to see you achieve that. Here's what I'm going to need you to do in order to reach that goal. And then give him some benchmarks and say, these are the behaviors that I've noticed that, you know, it's fine, but we need to adjust them. And so here's how I'd like to see you adjust those things. And I'd just be very positive and give him real positive feedback, all in the context of him achieving the objective that he wants to achieve. So it's not like you're reprimanding him. It's like you're giving him a clear path forward. Does that make sense?
And you do it as constructive criticism. When you tell them, look, like Eric said, I want, you know, I know this is your career path. This is your goal, you know, and so you approach it that way. Now, here's, like Eric said, here's what I think you need to work on. You need to improve to get there. I want you to get there. I see that as a career path for you. But here's the things that we're going to need to work on together to get you there.
Yeah. And then one of my other questions I want to ask you guys is like, given the fact that a lot of this information was given to me by another coach, like, should I just say, like, I heard that this was going on? Like, I don't want to necessarily, like, you know, make Austin self-conscious about just venting to a fellow staff member. You know what I mean?
Can I answer that a little bit? I just had a 24-year-old intern working. Yeah. And we have 3 coaches outside of myself. And knowing her background made a huge difference. She dealt with depression, dealt with anxiety, dealt with a lot of stuff that she had to go through that made her the insecurity. And she's great fitness, good coach, all that kind of stuff, but they have those insecurities as well. And of the coaches, she gravitated to the one that was easiest to talk to.
Yeah.
So it's harder for me than one that she kind of had a little bit of issue going on, but she wasn't mature enough to go to the person herself. And so the same situation where you don't want to rat the coach out, hey, it told me this and that, because it was done in confidence. Yeah. So what I did was encourage the one who she felt most comfortable with. You have to encourage her to come talk to me. You have to encourage her to go talk to Sarah as well. So that it's not she doesn't lose trust in you. But at the same time, you can encourage her because she's trying to be a fitness coach, trying to move on. She's working to get her certification. If she's going to be in a leadership position, she's going to need to know how to interact, even in tough conversations.
Yeah.
And I said, so you need to encourage her to grow up. This is time to grow up and have the right conversations with myself and with others.
But what you need to do, don't be afraid about talking about you heard this, because you pre-frame it and say, okay, understand, this facility is a small community, so things do get back to me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also explain, like the one about the outlast that clients saw. Yes, that has to be addressed. And I would approach it. I would ask them, did you see the movie A Few Good Men?
I haven't.
Okay, well, you ask them that. And real simple. Remember when Jack Nicholson talked to the other colonel about this stays in, you don't You don't address this in front of other subordinates. It's the same thing. Things like that needs to stay in-house. If you want to address it, you don't address it in front of our clients.
Yeah.
Our clients need to see that everybody is on the same page.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I would approach that.
Now, another question I have, given the situation, and Calvin, after what you said, that kind of helps. The other coach, Eve, it's her and Austin training tonight. Should I have her be there while I talk to him? Or does that not matter?
Is she his boss?
No.
Okay.
No.
She's not the lead trainer and he's a subordinate to her. Yeah.
No.
Then I wouldn't. That's my feeling.
Just somebody he confides in, so I didn't know if that mattered or not.
Yeah. No, because you're the boss. So I think it should be you and him, and you, like we said, laying the path, showing him the path forward, how he can grow into being the person he wants to be and the having the job that he wants to have, that kind of thing. I do it, from a position of, hey, you, Adrian, look at what I've built. You're not saying this, but this is how look at what I've done. I am here. I'm a person who can give you sound advice. Plus, I'm your boss, and these are the things I expect of you. It's that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I was having a hiccup about how to address the things that I've heard from the other coaches. Like, try to say, it's come to my attention that da-da-da-da-da.
I think the way Rick positioned it is perfect. And remember, this is the thing, when we all listen to Rick, one of the things you got to pay the most attention to is the way he has for using language so beautifully, colloquially, giving reasons why, putting things in context. And what he just did there was beautiful about the whole community. This is a small community and things get back to me. I think that's exactly the way to do it.
Yeah. And then, like I said, when it comes to explaining the other situation, I would, you use something like that and they can relate to it. Okay, this is no different than Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. We keep this inside to ourselves. This is not something that the members need to be seeing. We have these issues, we address them in private.
Yeah.
I mean, because you'll understand that. There's no young guy that has not watched A Few Good Men.
Me?
Yeah.
You're an exception.
Homework.
Then you better do a little bit of homework before you use that.
Great.
Let's come up with another analogy, Eric.
Yeah.
You got me on that one then.
That's funny because, I mean, you dated yourself. You, me, and Aaron got it. Calvin might have got it, but Adrian, he's a millennial. He needs a Justin Bieber reference.
Jeez.
Right. But even I think even Rick, what Rick said too, is like, this goes to the conversation I'm having with my 19-year-old. You want to do this. Here are the things that I see that people who have been successful at reaching this have to attain. These are things that you would need to do. So let me help you work on getting those skills by doing thus, and thus.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do it, this is what it takes. Success leaves clues. These are the success patterns that allow me to get here, and other folks that are what you're trying to do have followed.
On the nose, right there. That's beautiful.
Is it worth asking? Because there's two questions that I want to ask. One is like, is there anything going on outside of here that we can talk about that may be affecting you? And two, is there anything that I'm doing that's affecting you?
You have a right to ask both of those questions.
Yeah.
All right.
And what's happened before. Like I said, if you want to share a little bit about your story, what makes your personality, what makes you? Tell me your story. If he hasn't really gone and looked deeper, it might be time for y'all to go back and revisit it. And he may feel more comfortable to share things in the past that he hadn't, that's kind of formed him to be who he is, because there's some things going on that makes him so insecure.
Yeah. And make him understand that it's not a one-way conversation. This is not me talking at you. This is us talking together to try to make you a better person to get where you said you want to be and where I'd like to see you get here.
Yeah.
Let me just, this is perfect right there. You've got it right there, Adrian. I would go into this saying, hey, Austin, I want to talk to you about two things. Number one, I want to get to know you a little bit better. I want to hear your story, as Calvin just said. Number two, I want to talk about your path forward with the company. And I would get him talking first, because that makes him more comfortable. If he's sitting and listening, and then he could get nervous. But if you get him talking, that loosens him up. So I think what Calvin said is perfect. Hey, share with me your story. I want to know. I want to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah,
I think that's great. And then you can use that. Just like you do in a sales consult, they're giving you ammunition. Whenever they're talking, you're getting ammunition. And so as long as you're listening, all that can be paraphrased back, put into the way you educate and teach him and sell him on being a better employee.
Because really, like Eric just said, if you think about really what you are doing there, it is going to be a sales consultation, so to speak.
Well, anything sales, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah. This is a great conversation.
So I guess one thing I wanted to ask, it's not stepping like a relational boundary. If I ask him, hey, like, I noticed that you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Like, why is that? Like, that's not too much for me to ask, right?
No, because you can relate to it.
Yeah.
So say, I've noticed this because I've had this issue in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, other people may not have noticed this, but this is something I've had to work on, and I noticed it. So is there something we can address?
And it's not weird for like an employer to share their own personal stories, right? Like that's fine.
Transparency is huge.
Huge. Yeah. That's how you share your values.
Yeah.
That's one, how you share your values. That's two, how you show them that you're a real person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you align with people. Remember, stories is how we align with people. Aaron can talk on this all day long, but that's how you win people over, and that's your story, and your story is similar to his. That's how you get him to align with you.
Yeah, I just wonder why, like he's negative sometimes out of like randomly, it's just
You may find out tonight.
Huh?
You may find out tonight.
I want to. I just don't want it to be like 2 days later, Adrian yelled at me again.
Don't let it go there. Just make it a constructive conversation.
Yeah.
Two-way conversation.
Let him do most of the talking.
Yeah.
Good questions.
I want to get to know you better, and I want to talk about your future with the company. That makes sense.
And ask questions, like Calvin just said. Ask questions to lead him to the answers you want to hear.
I suck at that.
Well, that surprises me because you're good you're a good closer. I mean, from what I hear, your conversion is very high. Selling is about questioning, because what does question do? It gives you control over the conversation.
Well, I guess the end goal is we should work toward your long-term goals. So I just think for me, I have a hard time figuring out what the end goal for Austin should be. I guess in my mind, for him, I just want to be comfortable here and positive and uplifting, but what if that's not in line with what he wants? Like, what if he just sees no issue with what he's doing? I guess that's why I have a hard time thinking it through,
Well, I mean, it's ideally, if like the best lawyers in the world, what do? When they get in front of somebody, they can ask the questions that make that person incriminate themselves. Okay. Just say exactly what that is why they're the best in the world. So it's a skill that you have to develop. So are you going to necessarily get him to say exactly what you want to hear from him and spill all this stuff? Maybe not. So there might come a point in the conversation where you have to say, well, listen, I need to address this issue with you that's come to my attention because we're part of we're a community and things get back to me. Do that. And then you have to share it with him and then ask him, for his feedback. Yeah. But me personally, I'm a big writer downer. So I'd write some questions beforehand, so I had a sense of things I wanted to cover. And as he talked, I don't try not to take too many notes when I'm talking to somebody. But if something important, I will jot it down, and I would encourage you to do that too.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the last question, because I think I have enough with what I need to do. Like, just what if it comes to the point where I address these issues and he's like, well, that's not that big of a deal, or he just kind of shrugs it off or doesn't see the issue with it,
Then you have to evaluate if he's somebody you really want.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. That means he's not in line with what you're looking for your facility.
Yeah.
And that's why you should beforehand have a sense of how you want to tie these things together, like the negativity issue. You have your values. I'm pretty sure you've got your values, mission statement, and everything already articulated, written down. negativity goes against, I'm sure, one of your core values in some way. So you want to maybe tie those things together. If he doesn't get it, you need to make it crystal clear, the connection between what he's doing and how it's inappropriate because it goes against the core value of you and your company.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You'll figure it all out. Just go into a positive, have a conversation, have a plan, and have a conversation.
So let me jump in real quick, Adrian. I don't know if I told you to get this book. I've told you to get so many, but there's a book out there called The Power of Moments. Everybody should read that book. I mean, dude, it's just
moments.
The Power of Moments. I think that's the name of it. I'll double check it and make sure I put it in the comment box. But the whole point of it is, you know, how businesses, everything from charities to major corporations have changed their whole infrastructure based on the power of specific moments and celebrating moments. But one of the more captivating stories in this whole book is what Rick was saying, just rephrased a little bit, is to get an individual to stumble on their own truth.
Yeah.
And it basically tells the story of a charity water event out in an indigenous tribe somewhere where they were doing what they could to clean up sanitation. And they built them these toilets, and the community wouldn't use them. And they came to find out through somebody's comment that those toilets are nicer than our houses. We're not going to go in to something nicer than our homes and, you know, mess them up like that.
Take a dump.
Right. So fast forward into this whole thing. It's just brilliantly said. I'm going to butcher it because I'm rushing it. But ultimately, they got some consulting. The charity got some consulting and decided that they'd go back, and they wouldn't offer any answers. They wouldn't offer any suggestions. They would only ask questions to get this tribe to stumble onto their own truth. And ultimately, it boiled down to, you know, he says, well, you know, where do you guys go when you have to use the bathroom? And he showed them, and it then asked questions. Well, why is this poop different color than this over there? And why is flies congregating more over here than here? And just question after question after question. And at the end of the revelation, The Power of a Moment, he brings everybody back together, and he says, he takes a hair off of his head and he kind of swirls it around into some manure, and he puts it into a glass of pure, clean water and swishes it around. And then he offers it to someone, and they go, a lady, I think, and she's like, I'm not going to drink that. And he says, but it's clean. It's pure. You can see right through it. And she was like, no, you just put crap in it. I'm not going to drink that. And then he goes, see that fly over there on your meat? He says, do you know that those flies have jagged legs, and they land on the poop and then they land on your meat, but you have no problem eating the meat? And then, dun, 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 right? Suddenly it clicks. They stumble onto their own truth. And now there's an uproar. And now everybody's blaming everybody because nobody's using latrines, and ultimately problem solved because of the power of a moment where they stumbled onto their own truth. So that's a long-winded way of coming back to Rick, his comment, and just saying, when you talk with your staff, with this guy, you'll want to get him to stumble onto his own truth, right? Because when you tell somebody something, it's information, but when they say it, it's knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? And they own it. That's all I got.
So, like,
yeah, I agree with that. That gets back to the conversation, getting them to talk instead of talking at them.
well, like an example, I'm trying to like think about it. Like he wants to be a facility leader. Like, could I say, hey, you know, it's come to my attention that, you know, oftentimes in the mornings, you know, you're kind of griping about how tired you are, you're complaining. Like, how do you think that relates to being a leader? Like, is that the kind of thinking that would help him stumble upon that?
It could. I think you're advancing a little bit too far. I would start off with, hey, how do you feel in the morning? That kind of thing. And say, you know, and follow up with that. And if he says, I feel great, then what are you doing when you get in here in the morning? What, you know, how do you prepare for the day or things like that? Try and, bit by bit move into it. That's a possibility. If you're pressed for time, then yeah, you cut right to the chase as you just did.
Got it. I just wonder what I would say if he was like, yeah, I feel great in the morning. And I'm like, well, doesn't sound like it,
Well, if he says that, then you can say, well, what about the other morning or whatever? I mean, you said you haven't seen any of this. It's just hearsay, right? It's just information that's been shared with you. Yeah. Well, then you can say, well, it's come to my attention, that's not, or that, the other day or whatever, if it's happened on numerous occasions. So, maybe that doesn't, it's hard for me to lay out all the questions for you, but I'd start simple and move forward. And if you get what you want, then great. If not, then you can, sort of force the issue a little bit with harder questions.
Got it.
Or more assertive statements too. Yeah. That wasn't very helpful, I know. But anyway, just stick with what we talked about beforehand. You'll figure it out. Just get in there and do it.
Thanks, Coach. All right, cool.
All right, good. Anybody else? Anything else on that? No? All right. Adrian, anything else you want to discuss?
No, that's just the most pressing thing, because if I can learn how to do this, I think it'll make my life a lot easier. It's still one thing I'm not the best at. So
you're 20-something years old. I'm 52. I still am not good at it. I just understand.
Nobody's good at it, Adrian. We just have to do it.
Right. You have to do it. And the best way to learn it is to do it, is just to do it. Yeah.
Nobody's good at having bad conversations. Nobody likes them. If somebody likes them, they're not somebody you really want to be around, to be honest with you.
That's true.
So you're just going to have to do it, and it's never comfortable. It really never is. So that's really all I can say about that. It's just something you're going to have to do, and you're going to be fine. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, just like these other things you've been through. We all know you're going to come through it, and you're going to do just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And if you're going to plan on being in business for a long time, it's a skill you have to develop and improve upon. And as much as it is difficult and not something that we all enjoy doing, you got to do it. If you're managing people, you got to do it. All right, Calvin, let's move on to you, brother. Let us know how things are going, and give us an update and any questions you have.
Staff has been pretty good. One lady I was on coming off of maternity leave, one of my coaches back up. So, thanks to actually Rick a few years ago when I first got started with this, I've got 3 coaches, and now I'm coaching one morning, one evening, and alternate some Saturdays. So it's giving me the time to really do what I need to do. And as far as being a daggone CEO for a change. And so that's going smooth. Now we have opportunity to move into a new facility. And actually, the guy will build it out. The 2 guys that I know, they saw the property, saw what's set up in there. They had plans on building the building, and they thought about me being, perfect for it. So it'll be just under 4,500 square feet, which is about twice what I have now, and twice as big, but most likely almost 3 times as expensive. So obviously, I need lead gen out the wazoo, building up, getting the numbers here now. And this can happen as early as August, if not in September. So what I'm looking at is the proper offerings. And I've been talking to Rick and Adrian actually with stuff that they've been doing. And of course, Camellia. I'm probably the biggest headache to Camellia of all of her clients, whatever. Like, he just won't do what I tell him to do. I get that. I'm pretty sure about that. So hear anything. She needs a massage after my calls, but yeah, it's just really same things you both just said. Do what needs to be done. Just do it, and I just realized something about myself that I'm afraid to make mistakes. I'm like Rick said, go get The Reluctant Entrepreneur. I still have that book because you recommended a while back. I mean, I'm used to winning. Honestly, I'm used to winning in the things that I do. So that keeps me in my comfort zone. And this is scary, but I will be kicking myself in the butt if I don't make this move. But I just need to make it, wise. I need to do it wisely. So right now, got upcoming just a 28-day deal that I'm going to do, like a buddy deal, 28-day challenge to move into my evergreen. Then Rick share some information with as far as doing a 6-week ongoing evergreen. Then I'm just going to plug the crap out of that to get that moving. and moving in the right direction. So those are things I'm trying to move. The area that we're going to be in is extremely close to a neighborhood that has a demographics that can afford me, and I'm going to be the closest place to them. So I want to be able to get mailers out to them and all kind of stuff to really, really push that. That's one, we're in a rural area as far as where we're at. So there are certain areas that will be the closest one to them. And of course, we're the best, and they actually have the demographics that can afford me. So I really want to hammer away at getting to them, whether, through the Facebook stuff and this and that, but also literally going out either physically door by door and introducing ourselves, or actually going in and doing mailers to that particular area is one of the things that I want to do. I also was talking with Rick on some of the things he's doing with one of his upcoming challenges, a celebration for that. And I think I could use that as part of a grand opening too as well, something in that order. So right now it's getting the cojones up to make the move and do what we need to do. Trying to figure out what other offerings. Right now I have a guy that's subleasing that's a martial arts instructor. He's just kind of been falling back on his membership, kind of old school and not really doing the things he needs to do. I just sublease to him. He runs everything on his own, but his money is not where it needs to go. So he's probably not going to be there. So I need to try to find either another martial arts person, because that has worked really well. We shut the doors, you got the keys, you do everything. I don't have to worry about it, because none of us want to do anything late evening in regards to what we do. Our last class is at 5:30. And so he was perfect. They came in, did their martial arts, and I was done. So I probably have to find another person that can actually pay the bills and go increase that. Thinking about offering kickboxing. Nobody does that here in this area, and actually have part of that, whether I don't know if it can be happen ongoing at the same time, what we got going on with our normal team personal training classes, or it'd be something that we do in conjunction with. So that's kind of right now what I'm thinking, really going to increase, bring the flag stuff in, the nutritional things, all that stuff to really bring in a revenue. Because right now we need to see some money coming in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah. So you're looking at potentially tripling your overhead, or at least the biggest piece of your overhead, within a few months.
Yes.
From now. Yeah. So if all things stayed equal, everything stayed equal except for you tripling your overhead, would you immediately go into the red? You know what I mean? Would you immediately be underwater? If say your revenue is what, 20 grand a month, and your rent is 5 right now. If you triple it to 15, are you in the negative? Are you in the red every month at that point?
No, we're just eating ramen noodles.
That's called the red, dude.
Yeah. So you could literally survive and be okay.
Now, it's tight. It'll be tight, especially with the fact of me now, paying my coaches and things of that sort. If it was just, if I was to do more coaching and things like that, yes, that would be another thing. But I don't want to go make that transition unless it's only temporary.
Oh, I hear you. I just wanted to know if you could survive worst case scenario, and that would be worst case. Well, I mean, worst case would be people bail on you. You lose customers when you move, and you don't add any new. That would be worst case.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'll lose anything, because it's right up the street. It's just in a better place. It'll be new facility. This new launch would be the newest thing in the area. I think it would actually just kill it. It would absolutely kill it if we do it correctly.
So how many new clients do you think you need to feel comfortable before that move?
35.
35. Okay.
I can survive off another like 15, but 35 is kind of the number where I'm balancing out where this rent change and other utilities and everything like that will come up to be. But yeah, that's kind of where I need to get.
So wait, let me get this right. You need 35 new clients to break even and to stay in the status quo that you're currently at.
To be comfortable with the move.
Yeah. So let's reverse engineer, because that's what you have to do in times like this, crunch time, is you got to figure out how to put maximum pressure on yourself to perform. And the way to do that is to have daily accountability. And so how do you do that? You reverse engineer it. If you know you need 35 clients in the next 30 days, how many leads are you going to need to generate? What's your closing percentage? And then that'll tell you how many leads you're going to need to generate. and then in that 30-day period, and then I break that down by day. I just divide by 30. So every day you've got to be generating whatever, 20 leads. How are you going to do that? And then come up with a plan for doing that, and make sure you're executing that plan every single day to ramp up. And then you need some type of measurement. You need to be able to record so that you can actually determine whether you're hitting those goals or not. Because the last thing you want to do is think that you're hitting it and then fall dramatically short. So you need some way to track and measure. But I would reverse engineer it, make sure you know your leads, and then figure out how you're going to generate those leads every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to know, like you were saying, your percentages. How many leads to get one sale, and come up with those numbers, and now you can back into your marketing to know how to get enough leads to get the sales to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to know your conversions too. You're bringing somebody into a front-end offer, what's the conversion rate? So you can actually look at that as well. If you're getting 20 people into a front-end offer and your conversion rate's 50, at the end of it, you're going to have about 10 clients. Give yourself a little buffer and say 8.
Right.
Just to make you work a little harder. Okay? So now if you need 35 people, we know how to go about it.
And let's talk math real quick. How many clients do you have right now?
78.
You have 78 clients. You need 35 more, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. So of the 78 that you've currently got, how many of those have you ever run a referral rewards program in your facility?
I changed you one a while ago. I have not done that.
Okay. So
I actually filmed the videos that from the whole thing. I filmed the videos in it, and we just have not put it out there.
All right. Well, look, dude, this is your great celebratory opportunity, right, to maximize your internal referrals right now, right?
Wait, you said I got to be celibate. What was that?
Celebration.
I know. I'm joking. Wait, yes. Go ahead.
You know you're celibate.
That's it. All the plans are off the table, right? You're done. You're staying where you are.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Go ahead.
That's funny. Funny guy. But look, I mean, now I would put together my very, very best plan. I'd go right back to your referral challenge, look at all the referral rewards opportunities, get the cards made up for your clients, right? Put everybody's name on your own business cards, arm these guys with an opportunity to refer, and incentivize the heck out of them. Now, look, if it's me and I'm in your position right now, here's what I'm going to do this day, right? I'm going to have all my tools ready to rock and roll. I'm going to get my email autoresponders ready to rock and roll. I'm going to coach up my coaches so that they can communicate it on the floor. I'm going to have my internal signage, and I'm going to have my tools for my clients to be able to use. And then from there, I am going to make the offer to my clients that for every customer you bring through the door, you're going to get a month free, and I want 12 from you. That's what I do.
Say it again.
I would tell them that I want 12 clients from you.
Oh, 12. Gotcha.
Right? Now, they're not going to bring you 12.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to bring you 3. But if one brought one, you've got more than double. You've got double your current clients. Right?
Yeah.
And so I would lay out the expectation. I would really buffer this thing up that we're getting ready to move. It's going to be a great opportunity for all of us. We need more clients. You know people who need to be here. And that's what I do. That's what I suggest you do, because it's not going to cost you a dime other than your tools.
Yeah. What? That's awesome.
That is awesome. And that's exactly right. I just making some notes. You need to look at the different ways that you can make sure that you maximize this opportunity. So again, you got, let's say 90 days. The things that I'd be looking at are the grand opening. How can you build up to that? Who can you get involved in that process? Who can you leverage? Who do you know? Should you join the Chamber of Commerce? Are there opportunities? What can you get? I'd look into that. I'd call them. I'd say, hey, I'm expanding. I'm going to be doing a grand opening. What do you guys offer in terms of grand opening publicity, things like that? just talk to them and see what's what. So I'd look at that. Look at your internal marketing for sure. And Aaron just touched on that. The referrals would be all over that. I would look at every type of referral campaign that you can utilize and write them down and figure out when you're going to use them and how you're going to make it all work. The external, you're obviously going to need to ramp up your external marketing, so your Facebook ads or whatever it is that you're doing in that regard. And then maybe most important of all is other than the referrals would be the most important, but second to that would be the story of this, and Aaron touched on this as well, the story of the expansion, the story, and Rick did too, the story of the growth and how you share it. And I think back to Jeff T. We talked about him earlier on the call. Jeff Tomaszewski, when he expanded he opened a new location, this was about a year and a half ago or a year ago, he did a sequence of stories. Every day he was posting something. He did a video. He'd go into the new place and he'd videotape it. He'd go, oh, here's part of the build out. You know who else did this? Doug Jackson did a great job when he was doing a renovation of his facility. And these are both guys that are in the referral challenge you can talk to about how they did this. But I'd be every day talking about how we're moving. Here's what's coming. Here's what and just tell that story. And I'd be posting it on Facebook. I'd be sending it out via email. That, really working the story of this of your new growth, the growth of your business, that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes plenty of sense. And I do well on the camera as far as doing that and selling that on Facebook Live and just getting the information out there on Instagram and all those different places like that. I have a question too, because I've been here 10 years. This is a small community. I'm the first one doing this style of training. About 70% of the people that are doing anything fitness related were either my clients or used to work for me at some point in time.
Wow.
So people know, you can get a knockoff or you can get the originator.
Yeah.
No one started, and like I said, that is where I started out of the back of my truck to Boys and Girls Club to here, and now the next thing is the big super deal. Which is an amazing story. Lost everything, Hurricane Katrina. I'll pull on those heartstrings all day long with all that crap. Now moving into where we're at, I've had a lot of folks that have been here and are no longer here. So as far as reactivation campaign, really trying to get some of those folks who have been here but not here anymore, really want to run with that. And that's one thing I said. We did a videos for some of the reactivation campaign stuff, the wish we had you around here. We did, my coach and I, we shot all that already. It's just a matter of actually executing that now in the right timing and whatnot. So how does that work in with the referrals as well?
Yeah, I would absolutely. I think that's a great idea to reactivate all those things. But what I would all tie it into is what you just said beforehand, was that synopsis of your story over those 10 years. That should be the main driver. Everything works into that story. So those videos that you've already shot, if they don't tie into that story that you just told, I wouldn't use them. I'd reshoot. Maybe they do. If they do, then great. You've got a good. But I would stay very tightly focused on the story of your growth, and this is the next evolution of Verus, and this is, look at how freaking good this is. And I would also incentivize people to join now, not wait until you open, the new facility, and I'd give them a reason to join now. And Aaron can tell you all about that. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's right on. I think that you pull out, you do a full court press, right? And reactivation campaign, referral campaign, lead generation through Facebook. I would do every dang thing. If I need 35 clients to maintain my current status quo, well, that's one thing. But dude, if you're going to go this hard, you might as well go ahead and do everything you can to get all the clients you can.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to live in the status quo, right? You're here to make a profit. You're growing to make a profit, so go do that.
Right. I have a question. Go ahead.
Let me just say, we're always looking for reason why, and this is what I talk about with Rick a lot. He's very good at coming up with reason why. So whenever you're making an offer or something, or almost anything you're doing, you want a reason that it's happening. And so one of the things that you should absolutely be looking at is how I would incorporate into the story how when this new facility opens, it's going to be so amazing and oh my gosh, all this great stuff. And therefore, the rates are going up. Okay, and so now here's a reason why for you to join us now, so you can lock in at these rates, or whatever. I wouldn't say lock in, but I'd say, you can get in at these rates now before the new facility, and you'll be able to enjoy the new facility at our old rates, that kind of thing. So you're always looking for those reasons to justify the things that you are offering, why you're offering these things, I should say.
Right.
So Rick, let's put you on the hot seat there, pal. Now let's put you in Calvin's seat. What do you do?
What I would do is actually pretty much like what I told Calvin I'm already doing. Celebrating that the 500 person to lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks. Running a special promotion. I'm sure you've probably seen some of my posts about it. Yeah, and I'm telling the story that, this is why we're doing it, but our celebration is we're giving you the gift, whatever it is you come up with, and told the story about why we're doing it and everything. And I started running Facebook ads to it. I actually set up 2 separate accounts to run my Facebook ads. One is under my name, the other one's under the gym's name, because I wanted to get that same ad to get a lot of exposure. But I didn't want its relevancy to go down to where Facebook starts punishing it. So putting it in 2 separate accounts, sending it to the same avatar, it's going to be seen twice as much. It's going to help me dominate the newsfeed. I also did it as a boosted post on my newsfeed. So they're seeing it all different ways. Okay. I'm running a referral promotion, like what Aaron was saying, where my clients are being rewarded for bringing people in as well. Matter of fact, they bring in 2 people that signs up just for this simple challenge. They're getting the same trip incentive that I'm giving away to the people that sign up. And so, we're talking about it in every training session, reminding them of it, reminding them that what they are getting. Because remember, at the end of the day, whether it's a current client or a prospect, it's all about what's in it for them.
Right.
That's all they really care about. Okay, so we're just really putting a big emphasis on that and selling what they are wanting instead of what we want.
Yeah. I've heard, I haven't done this myself, but I've heard, and I know maybe you guys know some folks who've done it, that contests work very, very well with Facebook ads, with Facebook in general. And maybe there's a way that you can, do something like give away 3 lifetime memberships to the new location or something like that, and do that as a lead gen piece. You get people to enter a contest where they can potentially win this thing. And I would look into that, because I know the contest can go, you can generate a lot of leads if you've got a really sexy offer, and that could be it. You got the new place.
Sexy, Eric. You sold me at sexy.
You're a trip, Calvin.
I like
Hey, the celebratory thing, that wasn't working for him now. But
celebratory. Yeah, that's just 2 different ends of the spectrum right there. You say like run they get into the contest by doing such and such, whatever it is to.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's a
Contest domination, I think, is one of them.
Say again, Rick.
Contest domination, I think, is it. There are several of them I've used. I think that's the one I used in the past.
It's a software, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The other one that I've heard of, I don't know, I'm not endorsing it, but I've heard of, is upviral.com.
Yeah.
That's by a pretty sharp Dutch guy. Anyway, if you got software, it certainly helps. But you can try it a lot of different. Just something. It's not. What's most important here is the strategy, not the tactics. The tactics are going to be big and helpful, but it's the strategy, and the strategy we've discussed. Stick to that story. Make that story compelling as hell. Leverage all your people. The relationships, without a doubt. Of course, go hard and heavy with your advertising, and make yourself accountable for production on a daily basis. And you know what? Pat always talks about these sprints that he does, and the whole producer challenge is built around that idea of a sprint. I think that's what you should be looking at doing, is that type of 90-day sprint here where you just go really freaking hard, balls to the wall.
Yeah. And, and think about how you want to strategize. You don't have to necessarily start running the ads right away. First run a boosted post and let it start building steam. You don't do them all at one time. Get a little bit of feedback, because you might want to adjust your message before you spend the money on the ads as well.
Okay.
Like this week, I just put that post up about it and had 8 people sign up. My ads and everything actually will start next week. So it's just generating the interest, and getting it out there, asking your clients to share it. I mean, we're literally, hey, if you see my post on Facebook, please share them. Let your friends know about it. I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Then let me sell to people so you can get the trip.
Yeah. Also, Calvin, have you done Rick's flag program?
I haven't.
Okay, because I mentioned that because Keith brought it up 2 weeks ago. We talked about it some, and then he's made these posts. I don't know if you've seen Keith's post, Calvin, in the group, but he's kicking ass with this thing. I mean, he just sent out a couple emails, and he got 50 people signed up. 8 of them sold already or something. So what the point is, again, there's the magic is not the tactics, but you need tactics to support the strategy. So you want to line up as many good tactics as you can and figure out where in that 90-day period you're going to start using them. And I think that flag program is one you might want to, that potentially could be part of your if you do a contest, that could be part of it, because people love the whole nutrition side. Or it could just be an offering that you do internally, whatever. I don't know, but that's a tactic I would put in that basket.
I'd start with Rick about a Wednesday, and then they get back and a clear understanding on how to do it, whatever.
And honestly, Calvin, if you got that going, then you don't need 35 people.
Right.
You get 10, even if you got 10 people in there, that's $3,000 every 8 weeks. Now, how many less new clients do you need to make your monthly nut?
Yeah, much less.
So it's something to think about. I think he's going to really do well. I think the last time he said something to me, he's up to 10 people ready to sign up. And honestly, the first email was so simple. It was just a variation of the 13-word email that I put together. That's all it was. And he got, what did he say, 50 responses, I think he told me.
Yep. And
then he sent out the second one. He's already got 10 people ready to sign up.
Did he send it just as full list, or did he send it to just as in-house?
His internal list.
Okay.
Yeah, just internal. This is how.
So think about that. How many clients does Keith have, maybe, in his facility? Even if it's 200,
Right.
you got a 25% response on that first email. That's a damn good open rate.
Yeah, it is.
Right. No doubt about it. That's a very good tactic, without a doubt. And we talked about this 2 weeks ago when Keith brought it up. But leading with nutrition, you can oftentimes generate a lot more attention with nutrition as a front end offering, and then selling your fitness services as the back end. So I would test both. Of course, I wouldn't stop offering fitness front end services, but I would certainly test. And I mention that because you're going to need to aggressively ramp up your Facebook ads, your external advertising. I would test some nutrition offerings as well. And flag might be it.
And my whole thought was, if you get a flag program going, you're not going to need as many new clients, because remember, there's 3 ways we make money in the fitness industry. Find new clients, get our current clients to pay more, and get them to stay longer. So just going looking for new clients is only working on one of the 3. That's only 1/3 of the potential income you could make.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep, definitely.
So if we concentrate on the other ones, it could make your life a hell of a lot easier on the front end, Calvin.
Okay.
Which is the reason I've always been so big about the flag or accountability group or whatever you want to call it, because it does make your life a lot easier.
Let me suggest something to you. You do it if you want, but I'm gonna strongly suggest it, Calvin, is that, you know, there are so many sharp marketers in the Referral Challenge group. I would suggest that you come up with a plan, a marketing plan that you're going to do for the next 90 days and post it in that group and ask for feedback. And just, you know, it doesn't have to be completely fleshed out. You can say, here's what, over 90 days, here's my plan, my external marketing, my internal marketing. This is what I'm going to do. Oh, and here, you know, grand opening, this is what I'm going to try and get done, or what I've got, I know I can do. And just put it out there and let us all give you some feedback.
And I bet you $100, Pat Rigsby will see that one and he'll chime in too.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet, because that's kind of things he loves.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, Eric.
Yeah. And it's exciting. You know, I mean, it's scary on the one hand a little bit, but not too scary, because as you said, you're going to be okay even if you don't get dramatic growth, but obviously you want to get dramatic growth. And this is an opportunity for you to really challenge yourself and see what you can do to springboard yourself to that next level. And, you know, and you got a 90-day window, you got a hard target to hit. This is perfect.
You know what Aaron was saying about moments? This could be one of those moments for your business and for you personally.
Yeah.
It really, truly could. I can see that. But you have to, you know, go all in, like Eric was saying, and like Aaron was saying as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting. I definitely would love for you to keep us updated on your progress. And like I said, just tap into the mastermind, man, because you've got some, you know, good folks who can give you a lot of good feedback, but you got to initiate it.
What's that nickname you have there?
Go hard. I can go to up here. Okay,
there you go.
Yeah.
Take your own nickname to heart and go for it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exciting.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. You've got this. I know.
All right. Anything else, Calvin, you want to talk about, or you good?
No, that's pretty much at the front end of where everything is taking this 90-day sprint and make it happen. I mean, everything is in place for that. One thing. I have a Facebook. My wife has actually been studying the Facebook stuff for a while, and when she's actually opening up, while working on her second book, she's opening up actually a media group, because she's already done proofreading for people, done different things, done launch campaigns for other folks. She's going to take over my Facebook ads once she learns this fully out. So she'll save us money on that and being able to do it. So the plan is to get her fully doing Facebook ads for us over the next month. So because she actually should have her own office in the new facility too as well. So she's working her butt off to make this happen as well. So
that's beautiful, because you know what you do then? All she's got to do is get you a couple wins, and then she goes out and starts talking to some of the other local businesses in your town and say, hey, I'm a Facebook advertising expert agency. I'll take your business. Boom, here's what I've done. She'll sell like this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. All right, good. Rick, how are things going with you, man? Give us an update on things with you. And
going good. That's we talked about briefly. We just had our 500th person in just a little over 4 years hit the 20 pounds or more in 6 weeks. So that was pretty exciting. So I'm running that promotion for it. I think it'll go pretty well. Remains to be seen, but it's so far so good. Like I said, I've had 8 people sign up this week since I started pushing it on Monday.
Nice.
That's
quite a milestone. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to kudos to you, man. That's a huge difference you're making in your community. That's a lot of people.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Then Kane from Coach Catalyst and I pretty much dialed in exactly what we are doing. We've actually put it together, the integration for Pro Diets and Coach Catalyst, which is pretty damn nice already. But and to make Calvin happy, we are taking the, what is it, lean and mean?
The lean and clean.
Lean and clean, and we're incorporating that into it as well. So the Pro Diets is going to have the lean and clean template that he already has, along with what he and I had put together to just make it a 42-day blockbuster.
Wow.
So it's going to be a really incredible accountability week that we put together through Coach Catalyst. So we're pretty excited. Actually, as soon as I get off here, I have to drive to Kansas City. I'm speaking to 50 fitness pros tomorrow, and Trevor from Coach Catalyst is going to be there as well. So we're going to unveil it at this little event in Kansas City tomorrow.
Oh, that's great. Is this a Greg Justice event, or who's doing it?
Jill Stoppel. She knows Greg Justice. That's the wrong number. Obviously, Greg may be there. I don't know if he is or not. I know he's not speaking at it this time, but he may be there since it is in Kansas City. It's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Possibly even Shay.
Yeah. I don't know him, but I've seen him on Facebook. I like him.
So we will we'll see. I hope I see Greg tomorrow.
Well, if you do, tell him I said hi. Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely will. So I'm hoping, we're going to unveil it to those people tomorrow and kind of take it from there, see how it goes.
When you say unveil, will you sell?
Yeah, hopefully it's going to help get people into Coach Catalyst, and get them using that suite. And obviously, hopefully we're getting them on Pro Diets, because I'm going to give them a 30-day trial of Pro Diets. They get Coach Catalyst. They see how it works. They'll probably keep them together.
Nice. That's great. That's a nice little bundle. Coach Catalyst and Pro Diets. Yeah.
That's what we're hoping.
Excellent.
So I'll see Trevor when I get up there tonight. We're supposed to go to a new barbecue place up in Kansas City, one that I haven't been to yet.
Yeah.
When
in Rome.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I went to college there, so I've been to every one.
Oh.
And this is the new one, supposedly, and they're telling me it's by far the best in Kansas City. And I'm like, that remains to be seen.
I'll be the final arbiter of that. Yeah.
I've been to all of them many a times. Let me decide.
Right.
So as soon as we get off here, I'm jumping in the car and heading to Kansas City, and we'll see how this goes tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah, I gotta jump off too, guys. But thank you so much. I'll definitely do that post and try to come up with that this weekend.
Great, Calvin. Sounds good. Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Go hard.
Yeah, go hard, brother. Yeah.
Go hard.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Working on some new stuff, our NPS, kind of reworking the way we were going about the sales funnel. I wasn't happy, and neither was Scott, happy with the way it was producing. So we kind of switched it around and started going to our lead magnet first, and all of a sudden this week, the first 4 days, it generated 200 new leads.
Wow.
NPS did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. From your Facebook ads?
Yes, from the Facebook ads, going to our lead magnet that's now bringing them into my nurturing sequence and my long content sequence. So
what was the front end before the lead magnet? What were you offering to generate the lead?
He was taking them from the videos, the testimonial videos that you guys did, straight to the landing page. He was trying to sell straight to the landing page with not much nurturing.
When you say landing page, you mean he was taking them right to a sales letter or a sales video?
Yeah, right to my NPS sales page,
Yeah.
And so we weren't getting the numbers. Hence, we were getting people clicking through, but they weren't quality people. They would schedule the discovery call with me, and they weren't showing up.
Yeah.
So I decided this isn't worth it. Let's switch it around. I'd rather be bringing people into my email list, nurturing them, and then when I'm giving them all the good content and they schedule the call, it's going to be a more quality conversation. They're more likely to show up. So we're playing the long game.
Good. I would encourage you strongly to look at building in urgency and scarcity into that offering. And there's multiple ways to do it, but
we've got as soon as they opt in, they go to a one-time offer for a discounted price for the NPS original product. So we sell enough of that, it covers the ad spend.
Yeah, good.
Then they go in there, and we're giving them, again, they're in the email, so if they didn't buy it, they have 4 days to take advantage of that one-time offer. And we got a countdown timer, and we've actually got some code in there that if it's after the 4 days, they go back, they cannot get that offer again.
Good. Oh, so it's legit, because that's what you got to have these days.
It literally locks them out of it. And then we go straight into offering a 30-day trial of Pro Diets. Hey, okay, so you have the 101 meal plans. Now you want to get the tool that actually generated them for me. And now you can individually customize them for your clients instead of using a one-size-fits-all situation. Get them on the 30-day trial, and at that same time, they're receiving the emails about building their nutrition profit system and everything.
Awesome. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, good. I got one more question I want to ask you before, but I'm going to stop the recording at this point because I want to go off the record a little bit.